There is a lie that has been sold to you, packaged in beautiful quotes and cinematic morning routines. It's the lie that the people who change their lives are the ones who wake up feeling different, that they are touched by some divine lightning bolt of energy the moment their eyes open. Meet Alex. Alex is 32 years old. They have a good job, a decent apartment, and a head full of dreams they've been carrying around for years. Alex wants to write a book. They want to get in shape. They want to start a side business. And every single night, before bed, Alex feels the surge. It comes around 11 p.m., usually when they're scrolling through social media. They see a post from someone their age who just launched a course or ran a marathon. And something clicks. A fire ignites. Alex feels it in their chest, that familiar, electric buzz of motivation. Tomorrow, Alex thinks. Tomorrow is the day everything changes. And in that moment, it feels true. It feels inevitable. Alex makes a plan. They write it down. They set the alarm for 5:30 a.m. They imagine the cold shower, the morning pages, the healthy breakfast. They imagine the momentum carrying them through the day like a wave. And then they go to sleep. The alarm goes off at 5:30 a.m. The room is dark. The bed is warm. Alex's body is heavy, still swimming in the remnants of sleep. The phone lights up with that 5:30 notification, and Alex reaches for it, not to get up, but to turn it off. Just for 5 more minutes. The motivation from the night before is gone. It evaporated somewhere between the dream and the dawn. And Alex lies there, in the quiet gray light, feeling something uncomfortable. Not laziness exactly. Something closer to failure. The narrative starts quietly. Alex tells themselves they need to feel it. They need to want it. They need the fire. So they wait. They spend the next 30 minutes in bed, trying to conjure the feeling back. They watch a motivational video. They read an inspiring quote. They try to psych themselves up. But the feeling doesn't come. It's like trying to grab smoke. And eventually, they give up. They get out of bed, but the day is already lost. The precious morning is gone. And with it, the promise they made to themselves the night before. This becomes the pattern. Alex calls it a motivation problem. They think they just haven't found the right speech, the right book, the right mindset trick to make it stick. They buy courses. They join groups. They watch hours of content. They are a collector of motivation. But they are not a creator of change. And Alex is not alone. There is a friend in their life named Maya. Maya is the kind of person Alex admires and resents in equal measure. Maya runs a small business. Maya goes to the gym 3 times a week. Maya wrote a book last year. Not a bestseller, but a real one, with pages and a cover and everything. It was a Saturday morning when Alex and Maya met for coffee at the little cafe on the corner. The kind of place with mismatched chairs and exposed brick walls. Alex had been talking for the better part of an hour, laying out their latest plan with the kind of enthusiasm that comes from a sleepless night of research. The new system, the new app, the new approach that was definitely going to work this time. Maya listened, nodding occasionally, stirring her latte with a small spoon. When Alex finally paused, breathless from the sheer force of their own excitement, Maya set the spoon down and looked at them with something between affection and pity. "That sounds great," she said carefully. "When are you starting?" Alex hesitated. The question felt like a spotlight. "Soon," they said, waving a hand vaguely. "I'm just waiting to feel ready, you know? I need to get my head in the right space. I need to feel it. The motivation. The fire. I can't start until I feel it." Maya was quiet for a long moment. The cafe hummed around them. The hiss of the espresso machine, the murmur of other conversations, the clink of cups on saucers. When she spoke, her voice was gentle but firm. "I never feel ready." Alex blinked. "What do you mean?" "I mean exactly what I said," Maya replied, leaning back in her chair. "I have never once woken up and felt like doing the work. Not once. Every single morning, I want to stay in bed. I want to scroll on my phone. I want to do anything other than what I'm supposed to do." Alex stared at her, genuinely confused. They had built Maya up in their mind as someone with a secret power, someone who was born with a different brain chemistry. Maya was supposed to be different. Maya was supposed to have it figured out. "But you're so..." Alex struggled for the right word. "You just do things. You're always moving. You're always productive." Maya smiled, but it was a tired smile. "I know. And I'm telling you, I don't feel like it. Not before. Not during most of the time. The feeling doesn't come first. It never has. The words hung in the air between them, heavy and strange. Alex felt something shift in their understanding, like a piece of a puzzle sliding into place. The people who change their lives, Maya continued, they don't wake up feeling motivated. They wake up feeling normal. They feel the same pull of the pillow, the same desire to scroll, the same fog of drowsiness. The difference isn't a feeling. The difference is a decision. It's a decision they make while they're still half asleep, long before the feeling arrives to cheer them on. Alex walked home from that coffee shop with their world turned upside down. The streets were the same. The buildings were the same. But something inside Alex had cracked open, and a new light was seeping in. They had always believed that motivation was the starting gun, the thing that fired and sent them running. But Maya was suggesting something radically different. She was suggesting that motivation was not the gun. It was the applause at the finish line, the reward for showing up, not the permission slip to start. That night, Alex lay in bed and thought. They thought about the last time they had actually felt motivated. Really felt it. It wasn't before they started. It was in the middle of something. It was when they were already halfway through a run, lungs burning, but rhythm found. It was when they were deep into the flow of writing, words spilling out faster than they could type. It was when they were making progress, tangible and real. That feeling they had been chasing, that excitement, that energy, it was never the ticket to the show. It was the encore. It was the thing that happened after you had already committed, after you had already paid the price of admission. Alex realized, with a jolt that felt almost physical, that they had been trying to collect the reward before paying the price. They had been waiting for the harvest while refusing to plant the seed. Something shifted. The next morning, the alarm went off at 5:30 a.m. The room was dark. The bed was warm. The familiar voice started whispering in Alex's ear. You're tired. Just 5 more minutes. You'll feel better if you rest. You can start tomorrow. But Alex remembered Maya's words. And they did something they had never done before. They didn't try to argue with the voice. They didn't try to psych themselves up. They didn't reach for the phone to find a motivation video. They just swung their legs out of bed. It wasn't heroic. It wasn't dramatic. It was just a movement. Alex sat on the edge of the bed, feet on the floor, and they felt nothing. Not inspired. Not empowered. Just awake and vaguely uncomfortable. They walked to the bathroom. They brushed their teeth. They put on their gym clothes. And every step of the way, the voice was still there. This is pointless. You're not feeling it. Why are you doing this? Alex acknowledged the voice. They said quietly, I hear you. And then they kept moving. They went to the gym. They didn't feel like a warrior. They felt like a person who would rather be anywhere else. They got on the treadmill. The first few minutes were painful. The clock moved slowly. Alex wanted to quit. But something happened around minute 7. A shift. A subtle change in the body. The breathing evened out. The rhythm settled. And Alex felt a tiny flicker of something. Not the raging fire they used to wait for. Something smaller. Something quieter. It was the feeling of competence. The quiet pride of someone who did what they said they would do. It wasn't fireworks. It was a candle. But it was real. And it was theirs. For the first time, Alex understood. The feeling came after the action. The motivation followed the movement. It wasn't the cause. It was the effect. Alex continued this new approach. They stopped waiting for the surge. They stopped trying to feel excited. They became mechanical. They became consistent. They became boring. The first week was hard. The second week was harder. Because by the second week, the novelty had worn off. There was no more new beginning energy. There was only the dull grind of repetition. And there was a day, a specific day around day 14, that Alex almost broke. It was a Tuesday. The alarm went off. And Alex felt absolutely nothing. Not tired. Not energized. Just empty. A void. There was no desire to get up. There was no desire to stay in bed. There was just nothing. The difference was small. Almost invisible. It was just a decision, made in the dark, before the feeling arrived. It was just a commitment to the mundane. It was just the willingness to be boring. And in that boringness, Alex found something precious. Freedom. The freedom from having to negotiate with themselves every morning. The freedom from waiting for the permission of their own fleeting emotions. Alex became free not because they felt inspired, but because they stopped needing to feel inspired. Now, Alex is not special. They are not some superhuman with extra willpower. They are just a person who realized that the feeling they were looking for was never meant to arrive first. It was always meant to arrive last. It was the harvest, not the planting. The destination, not the departure. And that is the truth about motivation that no one tells you. It is not the spark that starts the fire. It is the warmth you feel when you've been tending the flames all along. So the question Alex asks themselves every morning is the same question you have to ask yourself. Are you going to wait for a feeling that may never come? Or are you going to move your feet, take the first step, and trust that the feeling will find you on the road? Because it will. It always does. Not in the way you expected, not as loud as you hoped, but it will come, quietly, gently, like a hand on your shoulder, saying, I'm proud of you. Keep going. And that, right there, is better than any lightning bolt. That is the quiet, steady hum of a life being built, brick by brick, morning by morning, by someone who finally stopped chasing and started doing.